Should I be working on my strategy, aka my action plan, or should I be looking at the internal pieces? This is a question I get a lot, and I find that for me that there is a synergy between the two, that the action that you take will change your mindset. It will change that emotional state. But there's a point at which one needs to come before the other. And that is that if you are struggling to take action in the first place, then you probably need to work with the internal piece. And what'll happen is that as you clear the emotional resistance, as you clear your emotional charge, as we call it, as you clear that, then you're going to find that you naturally take action. You naturally move into doing the things that you need to do. So, the old school, typical way of approaching things would be you make your list and you make yourself do those things. You look at the Brian Tracy Eat Your Frog, book where it is you sit down and you do the hardest thing first to get it out of the way. Now, there's a real benefit to that, and there's definitely a strategy. And here's what I've noticed is that works for about 15% of the population. Okay, so 15% of the population can just naturally, give themselves that push and they can move into action simply by willing themselves to do it. The rest of us, okay, and this includes me because I am this type of person, I need to clear my emotional stuff before I will take action. Otherwise, I just sit in this big old mess of resistance and not moving forward. So the 85% of the population that doesn't just naturally be able to overcome it with willpower need to work on the inner game first. And this is about changing our belief system, changing, what is our resistance to that? What is maybe our resistance to being successful? Because if we take big action and then we start getting the rewards, maybe there's going to be some pushback on becoming successful or wealthy, and these are not logical things. These are not that you should be afraid of having more money, right? That's not necessarily logical. And yet there's subconscious beliefs that come up. And so when you're constantly butting up against this inability to push through, then rather than pushing harder, or rather than, even worse, making yourself wrong for it, let's start talking about some really simple tools to move that charge, that emotional resistance out of the way, the belief out of the way, so that you can naturally move forward. So several ways to do this. Of course, you're welcome to reach out to me to get some tools on the clearing, what I call the clearing statement. There's like millions of variations that people do on clearing your emotional charge. But at the root of it, it is you do something to be able to bring up the emotions, bring up whatever that is for you, get really clear on it, and then you're going to use some sort of tool to just let yourself, clean off the dirt. So we need to kind of like bring the dirt to the surface in order to be able to wipe it away with a cloth. That's the essence of this process. Now, getting to the root of it, that's sometimes where it gets a bit tricky, and sometimes where you need that outside perspective, because for the smaller things, yeah, we're usually willing to face it and admit it. But some of those deeper programs, some of the deeper things, we may want to work with somebody to actually work through them. But let's assume that your resistance to doing something on your list is something small. Take a look at what it is on your list. And I want you to start to journal. Tell me the story. Tell me what it is about doing that you don't want to do. You don't want to do it because, and start it with the surface. It's going to be hard. It's too much work, and it's going to be awkward. And then you start digging into, well, I don't know if I can do it well. People are going to laugh at me. People are going to judge me. And then it starts to sink in, right? Like all of those emotions start to come up. So just let them come out. And then we can start to tackle them one at a time. And now, very simple process for moving this out is just being willing to do that or be that. So I'm willing to do what it is that you're willing to do. And that will bring up the emotion, or maybe you need to lean a bit deeper into what you journaled and saying, I'm willing to be judged. I'm willing to have people laugh at me. Looking at those pieces, when you say that statement out loud, it should bring up an emotion for you. That's good. That's what we're looking for. So you bring up that emotion and then you take a deep breath, okay? Because breath is magical. So you take a deep breath and then have the intention that on the exhale, you're going to be just clearing it away. It is that simple. There's lots of different ways to clearing, but I find this is, sometimes simple is best. So just with a nice breath, clear it out. And then I love looking at the opposite side as well. So I'm willing to not do that. And, excuse me, clear out whatever that brings up as well. In looking at both sides of it, what you're going to do is you're going to clear the judgments you have about having it and about not having it, about doing it, about not doing it. You're clearing out the emotions on those things. And then you're left with this space of choice, this beautiful space of choice to do it or not do it. And if it's simply a matter of choosing to do it or not do it, you'll probably choose in the direction of moving forward in your business. This is the beauty of doing the deeper emotional work, is that you will naturally move into action, that you don't have to force yourself into doing what you think you need to be doing. You will naturally look at it and go, oh, well, I want to make sure that I have XYZ for my business, and I need to do that in order to get that. So great, let's get that out of the way, right? It's going to be that kind of piece for you as opposed to the drudgery of eating the frog. Sorry, Brian Tracy, love you, but in this case, I don't think that's applicable. I don't think that's the most direct route. Here's what I'd encourage you to do. Spend 5 minutes every day. Make a list of the things that are annoying you. Convert them into statements. I'm willing to be that or have that or do that, whatever that is. And I'm willing to not have that, be that, do that. I know it's not grammatically correct. It's okay. But do the statements the way that I've outlined. So I'm willing to and I'm willing to not. Run those till they feel neutral. Then see what it feels like to when you start looking at taking action. I bet you're going to find that you will start to naturally move in the direction of taking bigger action in your business. This is the key piece of getting you to stand in your inner dominatrix so that you are moving forward with ease, up-leveling, growing your business, not only from a place of ease so you feel good, but also making you more money. If you need help digging in, reach out. It's time to head over to bookdana.in. Have a good one.